Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and it's that time again for me to check out your latest metal requests and recommendations on Bandcamp. And hey, if in general you like to be kept up to date with the best and brightest metal bands and albums from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. Alright, I've got 6 more requests to check out for you today, and we're going to start with this single from Roju, called Mind Exit. Ooh, I already like where this is going. Very catchy sounding riff here. I'm gonna skip around just so I don't get in trouble. I like that intro riff. Very like earworm stuff. It's a Finnish band. Okay, we got some clean vocals. Alternative metal, new metal. I'm wondering if we're gonna have like a full-on new metal revival. Thanks to bands like Tala, and then of course the kind of like metallic hardcore fusions with like Code Orange and Vane. Yeah, this definitely does remind me of like back in the day bands like Chevelle, kind of, with the clean singing. Yeah, I want to hear some more harsh vocals though. Use a little more of that. I like these kind of genty riffs, but that opening riff was kind of the like highlight one that got me sucked in. Yeah, this is very this is very 2000s right here. A little bit of like In Flames in that vocal right there too, just the way that he sings. Yeah, I think there's some real good potential here. I'd like to hear a little bit more harsh vocals. Ooh, I like this like kind of symphonic outro too. What's going on here? Nice little chill outro too. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear more from these guys. Looks like they just got 2 singles right now. Let me go ahead and check this other one out too. This is Calamity. Yeah, more kind of genty guitars. I like that synth line. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, man, this is like taking me in. This is like a time capsule to the early 2000s. That's wild. But yeah, I think that's plenty for Roju right now. Give them a listen. Alright, now time for one of my personal recommendations. I saw that Sideshow Cinema have a new release. I reviewed one of their previous albums, Palace, from 2018, and I'm curious to see where this DC band has gone with this new EP. Alright, bringing more of those kind of like hardcore vocals. Nice picture. Ooh, that bass rumble is nice. I like that bass tone. Cool cover too. If I recall, I liked Palace, but I felt like it had a lot of room for growth. But I liked it enough that I remember them. And I remember the name when it popped up in my email. Kind of a slower, sludgier song, kind of almost, for the starting part. Check out some other stuff too. Fish Tacos, nice title. Gotta love those tacos, especially. Ooh, Every Time I Die sounding riff here. I like that. I like that riff. Very good. Lots of good guitars on here. Yeah, remember, I'm pretty easy to please. You throw me some really good guitar riffs, and I'm sold. I'm not that difficult. Let's check out Bend. Yeah, I recall too, Palace had some like kind of consistency issues, I think, and not so here. Like all 4 of these songs seem like they're gonna be pretty solid. I'll check out the last one too. Yeah, really, and I feel like the production has stepped up a little bit. Songwriting seems a lot more consistent, strong. Guitars are great. Let's check out this last one, Slime Forever. Yeah, I'm picking up on a lot of... I'm curious, Sideshow Cinema, have you been listening to some Every Time I Die lately? Because I feel like I'm hearing that in the sound here. Loving these guitars. Little kind of slidey parts here too. Vocals really solid. All 4 of these songs, excellent. Check out Sideshow Cinema. Alright, next up we've got a Swedish band, and I recognized some of these words because I've heard, of all things, PewDiePie use these words because he is Swedish. He's actually from like the Gothenburg area, so birthplace of Melodeath, and I know there's some like curse words mixed in here, and if I recall kind of how he said it, it's like Helveta, Jävla, Skit, something like that. I feel like that's relatively close. And then Satan's Jävla Helvete. Something like that. Something like that. Oh yeah. Not messing around with the opening here. Nice intro there. Kind of grindy. A little bit of like old school death metal in there too. Death grind. That's how they've tagged it. Death grind, grindcore. You know, in a weird way, speaking of new metal, this kind of reminds me of the first Papa Roach cover, Infest. But obviously, this does not sound like Papa Roach. Nice little band photo here. I believe this is a one-man project. This is Helvete, Jävla, Skit. In advance, we advise you not to listen. Goodbye. Nice. Check out, yeah. Oh yeah, just those grindy, I like that guitar tone. It's got more of that sort of HM2 flavor. Mixed forms of audio disappointments, more of the description here. Man, those drums. I'm pretty sure those are simulated, because that speed just sounds pretty inhuman, but I've been wrong before, so would be curious to know. Are they using an actual drum, or is it programmed? Because that blast just sounds out of this world. Very, like, blackened sound, too. Just like the atmosphere is just very dark and dank and ugly. A little bit of black metal even kind of in the guitars, but death metal, too, obviously. Just crunchy, pretty good stuff, too. I like what I'm hearing here. It's pretty rare, too, that I get a grindcore album with 20 tracks where every time I click on one, I'm actually, like, finding something I'm enjoying in each of them. There's usually a lot of, like, kind of filler. Hell yeah. Sick. Yeah, you just want some sick, ugly, kind of blackened atmosphere with death grind, then check out Helvete, Jävla, Skit. Alright, then we've got an EP from Simbotomy out of Czechia. Let's give it a go. Oh yeah, that's what I figured looking at this. Just kind of old school death metal sound. This cover kind of cracked me up too, because this chick's rack is ginormous. Like, it's like bigger than her head. Good sound. The production's really solid. This is just 3 people. It's a trio. Oh, and it actually looks like it's split, so old school HM2 death metal, hearing that, split Czech Republic and United Kingdom. Production's really solid. Like, honestly, this production's about as good as some of the, like, major label stuff I get in this style. Like, I was just listening to the new Womb Ripper today, and they're about on par, I'd say, in how they sound. These guitars are ripping, too. Nice solo here. I'm impressed. I'll admit, like, I kind of looked over this, saw it's just a demo, and had low expectations, but this is really solid stuff. People gotta take notice of this. So, oh, and I said their name wrong, I think. I think it's Symptomy, not Simbotomy. I switched the T and the O. Symptomy. A slower track here. Here we go, picking up. Kind of a DB going there a little bit. Got some melodic death metal in there, just a little bit. Touch of that. A lot of that, like, Swedish old school death metal sound, especially when these solos kick in. Cut the knife surgically. Yeah, lots of melody in here. Kind of a doomy vibe, even. Sick drumming. Nice D beat. Ooh, nice little blast mixed in with the D beat there. I like it. I'm impressed, guys. check these guys out. They're just getting started. You could be, this could be your band where you're like, I listened to them since demo number 1, literally. Alright, then we got Pantheon with Age of Wolves from Little Rock, Arkansas. And actually, I used to live in Memphis for about 5 years, so I wasn't too far. I'd even work with kids out of the Little Rock area. Nice kind of just raw, more death metal here. What do we got here? Black metal, death metal, thrash. It looks like they just threw all the tags on here. That's cheating. So there's no grind in here. There's no black metal in here. I like this little folky kind of melody in here. A little bit of a monomarth right there. A little solo into very old school picture here. Check out another song here. We got Awakening the Gods. I do feel like it could use a little bit more energy for my taste. Like we're on a kind of like mid-pace side of things here. And that can be okay. And some people like slower stuff, obviously. Like I know like Quest for Metal can go on all day with some of this. He loves some of the doomier stuff. I'm just not really for it. Not that this is like doom at all, but it's just a little bit slower. But that raw production too. Like, I like what I'm hearing here, but I think on the critique side of things, I'm just thinking a little bit more energy and a little bit more personality too. Because this is just feeling very sort of like, I've heard a million other death metal bands that sound exactly like this. Like, where's the hook? Like, where's that thing that helps you stand out and makes you, matter, for lack of a better word. And that can be kind of harsh to hear, but especially with things like Bandcamp existing now, and there being like, everyone and their mother can, everyone and their grandmother literally can make like a grindcore band. You gotta stand out somehow. And I'm just not hearing that here. So I think you got the foundation. The instrumentation's solid, the performances are solid. The production is fitting to the sound that you're going for. There's always room for improvement in that area, but I think the main thing is really looking at your songwriting and figuring out how do we stand out. Or maybe you don't care, and that's fine too. But yeah, this is Pantheon. Give them a listen, give them some love. I want every band that shows up on these videos to get some extra attention and encourage other people to come on here too and get their band's word out there. It's really hard to do right now, so I do my best to spread the word. Alright, and then we're going to wrap things up with something definitely on the different side for me. We got Haunt from Fresno, California, and this is more of a kind of traditional heavy metal and thrash band. Another thing that I know Quest for Metal and Jamie are very into, Jamie Horsley, but me not so much. But again, they reached out to me, and I wanted to share them out here, and God knows there is a big audience for this sound, even if it's just not particularly my flavor. It's just harder for me to give an objective feeling on this. I will say, production's strong. They've captured everything really well. The guitars sound great too. I really like these riffs. Very catchy. They definitely got those hooks. It's just the vocals, man. Like, I'm just not into this style of vocals at all, which is funny because I like other stuff with clean singing. I like even a lot of non-metal stuff. I even listen to some like, screamo, emo, pop punk. But for some reason, it's just something about heavy metal vocals. They just never really did it for me. But every other aspect of this, I'm really enjoying. And I will say, even though it's not the style of singing I like, he's singing well. Like, he's not missing notes. I get requests from bands where the singer is like tone deaf, honestly, and that's not the case here. So, objective rating, your singing is good. It's just not my style. Yeah, nice little chuggy riffs here. That was almost like a little In Flames flourish there. Yeah, nice guitars. Good stuff. You throw some like melodic death metal vocals on this and I'd probably be all over it. A little slower one here. I like their art here too. Very just classic. I love that flashback too. Perfect for the sounds. It's definitely what it is. Man, ripping solos too. Yeah, you got a really good guitar player. I'm down. I will say, I think the same thing I just said for the last band though, like a little bit more personality. How do you make yourself stand out? Because obviously there's a lot of bands out there and a lot of just brilliant classic bands that have already done this style and, you know, kind of mastered it, so to speak. So how do you stand out and make a name for yourself? But again, that's Haunt with Triumph. Give them a listen. But alright, y'all, I think that's plenty for today. As always, down in the comments, let me know which band was your favorite. And again, if you ended up buying any of these albums, I really appreciate hearing that. I think that's awesome. Really makes me feel good about what I'm trying to do here, because that's the ultimate goal. Put some money in these talented artists' pockets. And hey, stick around, because I got plenty more videos coming right after this one. I've got a whole playlist set up of these best of Bandcamp videos, and then I've also got full album reviews, tier lists, interviews with bands on the podcast, you name it. We've got it, so again, plenty of reasons to subscribe if you have not already. Down in the description, you can find links to all of our social media where you can follow us, the email newsletter I send out personally every Friday, metaltrenches.com for even more reviews and content, and our Patreon and Subscribestar if you want to take that extra jump to becoming a full-on supporter. Just even $1 a month gives you early access to content and helps me keep this train a-rolling. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.